So the root of all your problems. I mean, shit, I had a lot of problems myself, to be honest. I remember feeling so much fear, so much anxiety, so much stress just built up in my mind, built up in my body, that like any little chore, any task seemed like such a big challenge for me. I mean, since I could remember, I had so many fears of failure, rejection, judgment. I honestly felt like I had so much like chronic stress within my body. Like any little thing, like I'm talking like a rec league men's basketball game. Like the stakes aren't that high by any means, but I had so much stress about like performing well in front of people. I had so much stress, so much fear about what other people are going to think of me, how people perceive me, how people would judge me for just me being me. And I think a lot of those, fears, anxieties, stresses led to a lot of isolation, a lot of self-doubt for sure, a lot of lack mentality, a lot of like second guessing myself in like any situation, whether it was like school, work, personal life, friendships. I was constantly like overthinking every single one of my actions, every single one of my thought patterns. And I think a lot of these fears, anxieties, and stresses led to me numbing it away, numbing that pain away, suppressing it in whatever way I thought would be actually like beneficial for me, just trying to like ignore it in the best way possible. And it turned out there was no best way possible. There was literally just scrolling through social media, watching content, and trying to like forget those traumas, those pains, those fears that I had so deeply rooted into my identity, honestly, first of all, and my personality, the way I would talk to people, the way I would try to defend myself when like my ego would kind of get bruised a little bit. And of course, I feel like we all know this, like numbing the pain away doesn't take the pain away. It just like prolongs it, and it just gets it out of your awareness for that little split second, and then it just kind of accumulates over time. I mean, you probably know this too. It honestly got to a point in my life where I was just numbing it way too much, and all that pain, all of those fears, those anxieties, those stresses felt so heavy. Like it felt so heavy on my mind. Like I feel like anytime I would try to have fun, I would have fun in the moment, and then right after I would go right back to those self-imposed limitations, those traumas, those memories just looping through my head over and over and over again. I remember in my last internship, there was a quiet working area on my floor, kind of like almost like cubicles with like cushiony seats, and you kind of have like a privacy wall. And it's mostly for people who like want to get work done and they kind of want to get in the zone or whatever and like not have any distractions. But I literally remember for like weeks on end, every single day without fail, I would go into that quiet working area just to escape my mind, just to escape my fears of other people judging me or looking at me or like calling me out on things. And I think at that time I blamed a lot of my circumstances. I blamed a lot of the people in my life because I didn't want to look at myself. I was watching so much content in those moments of isolation. Like I truly did feel lost at that point in my life. I felt like I had no purpose, and I was just kind of following what other people wanted me to do in my life rather than what I actually wanted to do. And I think that whole accumulation of that pain and those times that I had to go through led to me actually, like for the first time in my life, going down that whole self-development rabbit hole that maybe you know all about. I read all of those, Think and Grow Rich type books, watched endless hours of content on reprogramming your subconscious mind, meditating, changing your habits, journaling, taking cold showers, really whatever I could get my hands on and like learn about on YouTube mostly. Like I was just consuming that for hours on end every single day without fail. And I think some of these habits help me maybe in the short term. I think some things I still do to this day, like of course like meditating, journaling sometimes. But I think the whole self-development niche, if you want to call it that, is very repetitive with what they say. They kind of just tell you different habits to change, different behaviors to have, or different mindsets to have, but they don't actually get to the core root of your problems. Like they don't get to the juiciness, you know what I mean? So I think, with these surface level approaches, I really just got surface level results. One day I'd feel much better about myself, or maybe, for a few days in a row, I would take cold showers and I'd feel great after them. But then, a few days after or weeks after, I'd go like right back to square one. I go right back to feeling those insecurities, feeling those fears, those anxieties, those stresses. All of those self-imposed limitations just came running right back to me because I wasn't addressing why I even had those in the first place. It was almost like I was trying to run away from them again. But in this way, it was like with better habits, I guess. But it didn't really matter what I tried. Those fears, those anxieties, and those stresses just kept coming back into my awareness. And I literally didn't know what the fuck to do. I had no tools available to me that I could use to just get that shit out of my body, out of my mind, until I found it. I found exactly what I was seeking. I was able to, for the first time in my life, actually cultivate self-love for what I've been through without like identifying with that person anymore. I was able to be present in every single activity that I was doing. Like I didn't have that constant looming voice on my head of, oh shit, you have to look for this, or make sure that you don't do this because, you know, this might happen, or this person might say this to you. That whole overthinking mind, or those like demons of fear, they weren't really like controlling me as much. I was experiencing this beautiful release of like generational trauma. I was releasing parts of me that weren't okay with going for what I wanted. I was figuring out what my purpose in life was. All of these synchronicities, all of these concepts and knowledge and tools just started flooding into my awareness. And those fears and those anxieties just seemed so much weaker. Like it felt like I had anchors attached to me, and I was just kind of slowly just dropping them one by one. And I was just naturally just kind of feeling lighter. I was feeling more like my actual authentic self for the first time in my entire life. I wasn't trying to be someone. I was just being. And I truly did know that that my life had changed completely forever. I was finally discovering what the actual roots of my problems were, where they were actually stored, and how to access them, and how to actually like transmute those fears into more self-love, more forgiveness, more of who I truly am. And that's basically what I want to talk to you about in this video, is like, okay, where are all the roots of your problems actually stored? Turns out it's a place called your pain body. All that emotional baggage that you've been carrying for however many days, months, years, it has been stored within your own awareness. It doesn't just leave because you're trying to repress it or you're trying to like forget about it. If that shit stays with you, bro, like speaking from my own experience, it's literally stored within your body. And this emotional baggage is almost like you're like a 3-year-old kind of dragging along this stuffed teddy bear everywhere that you go, kind of tripping over it, thinking that you need it to survive, that it's like part of your own identity. At least that's how I was feeling about it. Like all those traumas or fears that I had, it really did feel like that was a part of me. Like, oh, this is just how it's going to be for the rest of my life. Shit, I better get used to it now. I mean, you can literally feel this emotional pain body in like everyday conversations that you have with people. Like, let's say this is your friend, your colleague, your family member, your sibling, whoever it is. Let's say they're just saying something that for some reason is just pushing those buttons that you know get pushed very easily. You know, maybe this one is anger, this one is fear, this one is sadness. And the words, even though they're just words, they're hitting those spots. They're hitting those soft spots, you know, those buttons that are stored within you that you've been living with this whole time. You feel that influx of emotion coursing through your body. And I mean, in the end, your ego is probably getting bruised. You're eliciting that fight or flight response so often just because of those buttons that you have within your emotional pain body. The biggest issue for me was all of those misperceptions and those foggy perceptions that I had of other people talking to me or my own self-worth just created more foggy results. Like I wasn't having those like harmonious relationships with people. I wasn't loving my life. I wasn't loving myself. I wasn't finding purpose in my life. I was just kind of going in circles of fear, stress, anxiety, sadness. And it was like that until I actually made the change. So really, what is the solution then? In my experience, what I've found to be the most effective, most efficient solution is reconnecting with who you truly are, with your true power, the true energy that has been sustaining you, that has been supporting you this entire time. And you know, once you actually reconnect with that true energy, with that true power that lives literally within you, all of those buttons, all of those triggers, all of those traumas, those emotional pains, they just get alchemized. Like they get dissolved on the spot because there's another stronger force that overcomes it when you just allow it to. Like, it just alchemizes all of that shit. And you get to realize that, oh damn, like all I had to do was face that fear, face that stress, or face that self-imposed limitation, transmute it, and there you go. I don't have to ever deal with that shit ever again. Like, it's really that simple when you understand the process. Like, your fears, your traumas, your experiences that maybe you're trying to repress or you're trying to avoid or maybe not talk about, it's literally the key. It is the gateway to your freedom. Everything that you desire in life, the reason why you don't have it is because you have certain fears, you have certain self-imposed limitations and experiences and memories that are holding you back from not procrastinating. It's those limitations that are causing you to procrastinate, to binge eat, to seek externally from yourself. It actually kind of reminds me of that movie, Inside Out, where, you know, the girl has all of these like emotions in her head and like they control all the actions and behaviors that she takes. Except in this case, what I'm trying to tell you is you can just become the observer of these emotions. You can become the observer of the pain body, of the traumas, of the limitations that you've been repressing and that you've been too afraid to even look at. And now you're just kind of watching it for what it is. It's just an emotion. It's just a thought. It's just a memory. It's just an experience. It's just a perception. It's nothing more until you give it more meaning than that. Essentially, you can become the lotus flower. So if you don't know, the lotus flower is such a beautiful flower. We all know this. But it grows in very like muddy conditions. In the same way, you can become your own lotus flower. You can use your dirt or the muddy conditions, your past limitations, your traumas, your pains, your fears, your anxieties, and use it as nourishment to then grow and blossom into who you truly are, your most authentic version of you, the one that doesn't care what people think, the one that doesn't stress about what's going to happen 2 days from now because they're so present in this moment. And they're so happy with this moment that they don't give a shit about what's going to happen. They're too busy enjoying right now. And I honestly believe in the bottom of my heart, it does not matter what you've been through or who you think that you are or what other people have told you that you are. You can use all of that and you can transmute all of that into more self-love, more self-forgiveness, and more authenticity above all. And you know, the Ascended Masters throughout history has talked about this too. Like, let's take Yeshua, for example. He talked about cleaning out your internal turmoil so that the external can be clean. You know, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. So it's not about forcing the action to happen or forcing the result to happen or pushing your own beliefs on other people. It's about cleaning out the parts of you that feel that that's even necessary. It's cleaning out all of those illusions from your mind, from your body. It's about cleaning out those false perceptions that you've kind of just been buying into. So I'm going to actually give you the manual alchemy step-by-step process that you can use today. So essentially the core foundation is always the breath. The breath is what is, first of all, going to make you feel safe and allow your mind and heart to achieve coherence together. So I would recommend circular breathing. So let's say you take a big inhale. There's no pause between the inhale and exhale. So as soon as the inhale's finished, you go right into the exhale and then right again back into the inhale. Now, once you've established this kind of safety net in a way, you can then bring about or think about or visualize this limitation, this problem that you've had. Maybe it's a fear, maybe it's a stress, maybe it's an anxiety that you've been dealing with, that you've been repressing. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you're bringing this problem into your awareness. Now, after that, you can then allow yourself to feel it. You can observe where the sensations in your body are, and you can feel safe in this moment to actually feel that completely. You know, in my experience, I think questioning myself of like why I even have, let's say for example, a fear of rejection really helped get to the actual root cause of that fear. You know, in my experience, I had certain memories pop up or certain statements that people have said to me that maybe had a lot of emotional charge that I really just been storing in my own body. And when you actually get to that root cause, you can simply ask your own awareness, your own body, where do I feel this the most? And you can kind of just sit with that question. You can allow your body and your energies to kind of come up with the answer itself. The important thing here is that you're not allowing your mind to answer, you're allowing your body, you're allowing the energies, the pain body to answer it for you. And what will happen is it'll kind of point your awareness into a certain part of your body. So maybe it's a little pulsating sensation in your calf, a feeling in your heart area. Maybe it's an energy constricting your throat. It doesn't really matter. at the end of the day, it's literally a sensation. Now, after you kind of become aware of that sensation, you can wrap your entire awareness onto that, essentially just becoming present with it. And you can just accept it for what it is. You can see it for what it is. It's literally a sensation. I think when you actually experience it, it kind of feels like a little inner child kind of just screaming for your attention. So all you have to do is just give it your love, give it your attention, and then just breathe through it. Once you actually wrap your awareness onto that sensation, you can imagine there's a nose in that part or in that sensation, and you're inhaling deeply into that sensation and doing that circular breathing, and then exhaling the emotion, letting that emotion express. And at the same time, you can reconnect with your heart chakra, with the energetic center that is right in the middle of your chest. And you'll see that this is where all of this self-love is essentially cultivated. And you can connect this heart chakra energy into wherever that pain sensation is in the pain body. And you can just keep sending it love, keep sending it forgiveness, and keep sending it your acceptance. And you'll see the more you actually do that process and you stay present with that feeling, it literally dissolves. It gets transmuted. It gets alchemized on the spot. I mean, this process literally saved me from years of limitation. It has transcended my fears of unworthiness, my social anxiety, talking to new people, like even small things like looking at people in the eyes, talking to strangers when I feel like it, finding my purpose in life, being true to myself, and sharing my truths with other people regardless of what their beliefs are, and being okay with what their response is. I mean, there's so many things I could talk about, but in general, it's completely changed my life. And I truly want the same for you. I want you to experience that. You didn't go through all of those limitations and all of those experiences for no reason. Every single thing that has happened to you up until this point has a purpose in your life when you allow it to have purpose. When you allow yourself to heal, essentially. And this is the whole point of the healing journey. It's to understand more about who you are and what you've been through, and see what makes you feel heavier and what makes you feel lighter. And then dropping the heavy shit so that you can feel more of the light shit, I hope that made sense. I don't know. But you'll see, like, the more you do this process and you reconnect with your center, your heart chakra, and you start alchemizing all that shit, you'll get these beautiful waves of unconditional love. And it's better than any content or any video or any drug or any drink could make you feel, because it's you. It's literally your own essence that is flowing through your body. And you'll start to feel where the parts are in your emotional pain body that aren't okay with feeling that. And then you can alchemize those as well. You can feel into those. You can breathe into those. You can reconnect with those parts and dissolve them on the spot. You can be out in the grocery store looking for shit in the aisle, and maybe you're not comfortable being in public or being around, big crowded spaces. But now that you're more aware of your body, your emotional pain body, you'll start to feel certain sensations in that moment of, oh, okay, this part of me is not okay with being in this aisle right now, but that's okay because it's literally a sensation. It kind of puts everything into perspective, in my opinion. And you start to realize that those fears aren't as heavy as you once thought that they were. They could only survive with your attention and your awareness onto them. So once you kind of dissolve the parts of you that are keeping your awareness onto them, what else is there that's holding you back? Now, if you want this alchemical process to become self-sustained, so on the spot you can just dissolve it in seconds, then you can join the WhatsApp group below. You can get access to all the free resources that help me start this healing journey. All you have to do is essentially go to the WhatsApp group, click the description of the group, and just click that link. And all of the resources, all of the knowledge that you have to know will be there, and you can start your healing journey, finish your healing journey today. I want to just be able to help as many people as I can, and I think providing free resources is the best way to do that. So if you're interested, please check it out. Try it out for yourself, see if it works, message me, give me any tips or suggestions that you've found in your own experience. I'd love to hear from you as well. So, also, if you are actually ready to pinpoint the core limitation in your experience, in your reality, that's holding you back from, let's say, growing your business or whatever it is in your life that you're going for, you can book a call below with me, and we can see what we can do for you. And yeah, we'll make your dreams come true. Peace.